This morning, a group of activists are coming together to join in the fight to end human trafficking in Kentucky. And folks in Pike County are concerned about a proposed agreement between the county and a private landfill company.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Welcome to Mountain News This Morning. I'm Neely Green here with you on this Monday, February 16th. The time is now 5:31, and let's check in with meteorologist Megan Desmond for a look at your forecast this morning. Megan, when I went outside this morning, I'm gonna be honest, I did not have a coat on. I didn't think it was that cold.
It really wasn't. It's a beautiful start to your day. I mean, 40s for most folks. So yeah, a light jacket may be necessary, but for the most part, it's going to be a pretty pleasant start to the day. A little foggy for some folks, though, so that's something to keep in mind as you are heading out the door. Maybe add a little bit of extra time just in case you do encounter any of those patches of fog. I was very lucky this morning. It was a very pleasant drive, no fog, really interrupted my drive. But temperatures, just as I was mentioning, a lot of folks in the 40s. It's going to be a mixture of the upper 30s, low 40s, but overall not too bad. You can see the slightly cooler temperatures just west of us, though. That could settle in as we're heading into the next couple of hours, but by the afternoon, we will see those upper 50s, low 60s returning into the forecast. Again, very pleasant day all day long. We're just going to watch those partly cloudy skies throughout the day. No chance of rain, with the exception of maybe a few spotty showers in the late morning hours, but for the most part, again, nice and dry. Neely.
Truck crashed into a power pole. It happened on Saturday afternoon. You can see that truck flipped over here. 400 customers lost power in the Cold Hill area along Highway 192. Jackson Energy says people on Cold Hill Road, Laurel Canyons and Canyon View were impacted until they were able to replace the pole. The Laurel County Fire Department says the driver of the truck was taken to the hospital with minor injuries and has since been released. This story is new this morning. Emergency crews in Wayne County responded to a serious crash over the weekend. Firefighters were called to a one-vehicle rollover on Highway 167. Police say one person was trapped inside the vehicle and another was ejected. Crews worked with Wayne County EMS, the Wayne County Sheriff's Office, and Monticello Police to free the trapped patient. We're working to learn how those involved are doing this morning. A group of activists, organizations, and concerned citizens are coming together to join in the fight to end human trafficking in Kentucky. The St. Paul United Methodist Church in Louisville hosted their fifth Stop Human Trafficking Conference. Speakers talked about how they're working to close regulatory gaps and how they open up as internet and technology have evolved. The 2023 Federal Human Traffic report shows that 60% of sex trafficking victims were recruited online, many of them using popular social media platforms. While the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children shows a big increase in reports of child sexual exploitation related to artificial intelligence in 2025. Those reports increased from 7,000 in January to more than 440,000 in June. Advocates at the conference say more work needs to be done.
We would be up in arms if children were being killed by vehicles or that they weren't being kept safe in those environments. So why aren't we treating digital environments the same way? Why aren't we prioritizing that?
While the groups mainly talked about work that still needs to be done, they also cited some progress that has already been made, like requiring biometrics such as fingerprints or a picture of a face to access adult websites. This weekend marked the start of Kentucky's spring forest fire season, and that means daytime burning restrictions are now in effect. Under state law, no outdoor burning is allowed between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. through April 30th unless the ground is snow covered. The rule applies to any fire within 150 feet of woods or brush. Fire crews in Anderson County say the restrictions are meant to keep people and property safe, especially as conditions begin to dry out.
So today the statewide burn ban goes in. That's put on through the state, not any individual department.
Deputy Jimmy Robinson says even if it seems wet outside, Wind and drier conditions can cause fires to spread quickly. He recommends using a burn pit, digging it deep into the ground, and keeping water source close by. The daytime burning restrictions remain in place through the end of April. Folks in Pike County are concerned about a proposed agreement between the county and a private landfill company. Last month, the Pike County Fiscal Court approved a new partnership with an affiliate of USA Waste and Recycling Incorporated. The proposal would plant a new landfill in the Myra community. Officials believe the move would be a long-term solution to the county's currently filling landfill, while bringing new jobs to the county. However, those in the community are opposed to the idea and want to know more about the plans.
I'm not 100% sure of all the facts, but I'm definitely against any landfill in this area or Pike County that brings garbage from across our nation here.
To address the concerns of any misinformation and dive into the decision, the Pike County Fiscal Court is hosting a special meeting this morning at 10 a.m. A popular and award-winning birth center at a Southern Kentucky hospital will be closed starting today. Danville-based Ephraim McDowell Health says it's closing the unit at Fort Logan Hospital in Stanford. Mothers say they are out of options. One of them is the wife and singer of Eastern Kentucky native Tyler Childers. Tyler shared on Instagram they have hoped to have their second baby there. People are holding out hope for a last-minute solution can be found. WYMT's Phil Pendleton spoke to one mother looking for answers in a sea of questions.
Have you had any fever at all?
Dr. Jay Miller has delivered 5,000 babies since 1986 in Stanford. On Wednesday, he was told that he and others at the local practice are no longer allowed to deliver babies at Ephraim McDowell Health as the hospital closes its birthing unit in Stanford.
However, the hospital can come up with their own bylaws and say, well, even though ACOG supports family doctors, we can make a rule blocking that.
I honestly, I was at a loss for words.
Jordan Ham says Ephraim McDowell's decision also affects her midwife. First, she was told the hospital they love would no longer have a birthing unit. Now other options are in serious question.
What are we supposed to do? And I said, well, my options are I deliver at home and have no access to health care and hope for the best, or I can go walk into a hospital and have someone who's never seen me before, who has no idea of my medical history.
The Danville Healthcare Facility's decision impacts numerous people, including Kentucky singer Tyler Childers. He says his first baby was born at Fort Logan. They were planning to have their second there as well.
I was literally just praying to God that this could get more attention. It's not just Stanford that this is affecting.
Others like Jordan Ham can't understand why the closure is happening given how the facility has won so many awards and is so popular.
It's something that's affecting people all over the country, and it might not be that it's affecting you personally today, but it could be tomorrow.
She says there needs to be laws and regulations made to prevent these types of closures from happening. In Lincoln County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
Cumberland Family Medical Center announced Friday that they were not made aware of the decision to close the birthing unit, and as a result, Women's Care of the Commonwealth had no recourse than to withdraw from labor and delivery services for all OBGYN patients at Ephraim McDowell Regional Medical Center. State lawmakers want to help students make up lost time in the classroom after the winter storm. Two different emergency bills were filed in the House Thursday. House Bill 631 would let school districts add 10 more non-traditional instruction days to their calendar. It's being sponsored by representatives from both parties. 5 House Republicans are sponsoring House Bill 365. It would let districts extend school days so they wouldn't have to add time at the end of the school year. Both bills were introduced Thursday. Your favorite bottle of bourbon or 6-pack of beer could soon cost you a lot more. House Bill 612 was introduced to the legislature last week. It would add a 4% tax on every alcoholic beverage sold in the state. Local businesses say the extra tax would be devastating. The fee would have to be passed to customers and businesses already paying 8% in fees on their sales. General Manager of Bourbon House Pizza, Micah Dennison, says she doesn't understand why lawmakers would push for the extra fees.
I mean, we'd just like a seat at the table to get a better understanding of, why they want to do this. Does it make sense? And are there any solutions that maybe work out better for all parties?
The bill doesn't specify where the money from the extra fee would be going, but it does say 5.5% of it would go to the Alcohol Wellness and Responsibility Fund. Senator Philip Wheeler of Pike County is sponsoring a new bill connected to this issue. During the recent cold snap, prices of fuel needed to generate electricity were at least 16 times higher than average. Senate Bill 172 would allow the Public Service Commission to give electric companies more time to collect fuel adjustment costs. We've already heard from many of you saying your bills are higher than usual. Drea Hurley says her Kentucky utility bill was more than $300 more than it was in the summer.
We had done everything right. We did everything the utility companies asked us to do, and it's definitely a huge burden, just considering that $500 is just for the electric bill, and that doesn't include all the rest of your living expenses.
Senate Bill 172 has already passed the Senate. The PSC has also still yet to rule on Kentucky's power requests for a rate increase. Spider-Man takes a dark turn in the new series, Spider-Noir. We have the latest in today's Eye on Entertainment.
And while we're looking nice and dry for your Monday, we're watching as those chances of rain increase heading throughout the week.